Right, we're gonna stop this because we've waited for long enough. Hello, people. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. This just happens to happen. We are live, hopefully this time. Connann is here with me.
Hello.
So just let us know if you can hear me okay. And please also let us know if you can hear Connann okay, if everybody is heard well. Hello, ethically based ex-omnivore. Hello, Michael. Hello, Bianca. Trapped in a Matrix. Efrendo. So nice to see you all. Pig's Dream, of course, Borneo. Borneo has been very patient. He's been with me on that other stream that I opened. Connann, say a few things about why we gathered here, so that people can hear if your levels are okay as well.
Yes, so hi people. This is a continuation of our last talk. Last time we talked about my view of morality, and hopefully today we will talk about veganism.
Well, damn, we were trying last time, but it just didn't happen. So yeah, let's go. So you wanted to start, so hopefully you got something. Let's go.
Yeah, I think when I talk to vegans, there are several problems that I usually can point to, depending on particular vegan. Of course, not every vegan have the same view of veganism or even the same definition.
Yeah.
When I touch on definition, what is your preferred definition?
I don't think I have anything very well written out. I should do that. I should bloody do that. But the closest one, so basically, I come from the point of rights at this point, and the reduction of suffering is like a secondary point that we should address after, the entire world is vegan and most people understand what's going on and shit. Yeah, is that like a good enough explanation? Because I think you talk enough with the vegans to understand what I just said. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it isn't a definition. Definitions should be properly made, but yeah. I think that you shouldn't waste time making up definitions, because then I would just poke holes in it.
No, but that's actually a good idea, But yeah, I've been lazy. Like, my first video was on this channel was about the definition of veganism, but I don't have the definition yet. I just know what I don't like in the definition by the Vegan Society. And it's become, the more I look into it, it become like minute changes. So I'm actually, but they're biggies, like the fact that they don't address rights, the fact that they put like the environment and health into it. I don't like all that stuff, but The definition is trying. It's trying to explain the why and the how. I just think it should be explained a little better. So actually, it would be actually kind of fun if I wrote the definition of veganism and you could try to poke holes in it. I would like that.
Yeah, I mean, the vegan society definition is like basically a joke. And no Syrians like debate vegans actually use it because it is so silly and so easy that it's not even worth to bother.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the
incredibly
problem is,
obsolete. So
yeah, the
and it's
problem
not
is that,
concrete.
yeah, the problem is they cannot put the definition of veganism because vegans don't actually agree what veganism is. You said rights, not every vegans are right-based vegans,
Sure.
so that cannot actually be included. So yeah, it is
What do
very
you mean?
tricky.
Why can't it be included? Because not all vegans agree with it? That's a
Yeah,
little
not
silly.
only. Uh,
I mean, we can split
it will
off
be.
into veganism 1 and veganism 2. Veganism 1 would be suffering, the reduction of suffering, and veganism 2 would be rights-based, but what would be the
Yeah,
point? I mean, it could be a definition that kind of includes both, although I personally don't think that reduction of suffering is a very concrete way to define veganism. I think rights-based has like a little bit more like a how do you say, like a logical words escape me, but it's a bit more like logical and also concrete. You can put a number on it basically, or you can put it into like a very successful argument, I think, when it goes to rights-based. But you know, people who come to veganism through the reduction of suffering, they're valid. I'm not saying they're not valid. I just think it's a little bit more, I don't know, less defensible maybe, or I haven't heard a good enough defense for it.
Yeah, I think that the best way to approach defining veganism is through some sociological approach and viewing it as a subculture rather than any philosophical
Why?
method. I think it is more accurate and more inclusive and more descriptive.
I don't care about those things. I mean, accurate. I care about accurate, but I don't think you are correct that it's accurate by defining the people that talk about animal rights. No, veganism is not about the people, so you can't make like a social definition for it.
Well, it is about the people, and every vegan is a person, right?
Yes, but we are not we are not fighting for our rights. We're fighting for the rights of others, right?
Yes, but you are a loosely connected group with same ideological idea, with
Sure.
not
I
maybe
mean,
but
but so
same goal.
what? But why is that? Why does that mean that we have to be defined by, well, like how? I don't know. Why does it have to be defined by us? I see no reason to do that. I see veganism being about the animals and should be defined by the animals. I don't see why. You have to explain a little bit more. Like, why do I have to define veganism by what it does for me, or what group I am in? It has nothing to do with me.
No, you can say that. I don't know if you understand. You could say that veganism is a subcultural movement focused on. You can say providing animals with legal protection from exploitation. That would be a very good definition.
Providing animals with what? Sorry?
Legal
Legal
protection
protections. Okay.
from exploitation. Now, that just from the top of my head, I just think
Yeah. Of
exploitation is
course.
probably not the best word, but you can tweak it. But
I
something
mean, I
like
don't
that.
see
So
how that's a definition of veganism, though. It's a definition of I don't know, like a group of people again. Yes,
So
okay, you're saying what we are doing, but you're not saying why, and I have a problem with that.
yeah, yeah, but why is in this sense not as important as what?
Absolutely disagree. It's the most important thing. We actually, I had a live this week. I went live to talk about Leslie Cross. It's right here. It's very accidentally amazing. And we talked about how Leslie Cross was talking about veganism. I don't know if you know, it's the guy that invented, like, not invented, but like popularized plant milks. And he was, I think, the one who split the vegetarian society into vegetarian and vegan society. So he was writing about veganism quite a lot. And some people in I don't know, vegan movement, whatever, kind of hold him to a very high regard. And I was going through how Leslie Cross was talking about veganism and how they interpret that Leslie Cross was talking about veganism. And all of that happened on the back of a very heated debate right now in veganism, whether or not, well, you saw it, you saw my video, you commented on it, that if I don't know, a pigeon molted a feather, is it okay for me to touch it, do with it something, you know, put it in my lapel, or make an art form from it? So is it okay if I go through it once again, really quickly this time?
Yeah, I didn't watch the entire video, maybe watched 5 minutes of it.
Yeah,
I kind of lost it. Something came up, but
of course.
yeah, I mean, we can go through it, but
No, 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 not the video, just what Leslie Cross said, because
okay,
that's what's relevant, right? I was
yeah,
just explaining the
let's see,
context.
what they said, whatever. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's male or female.
Sorry?
Yeah, just go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So Leslie Cross basically, the way he talks about veganism, he says, okay, this is our why. We want to end exploitation of animals by men. When he says men, he means people. And the effect of that is the exclusion of all animal products from the diet, right? This is how he talks about. The people who quote him sometimes go, okay, the causes, the reason, the why we are doing this entire thing is that animal products are not vegan, right? They start from there. It seems to me, at least, right? I'm absolutely psychoanalyzing and I could be wrong. And then the effect of that is that animal products become exploitation, but they lose the why. The why Leslie Cross was talking about, ending exploitation of animals, which, you know, I mostly agree with, although like the very, very fringe, some kind of thing that could be defined as exploitation, I think could be okay. One thing that I thought of, like, for instance, if somebody does photography, right, and they go into whatever nature is, or even like an urban photography, and without interacting with animals at all, with tele lens, right, they take beautiful pictures of pigeons, right? Let's make it like very, very benign. And then they put it on their website and sell a bunch of pictures. They're so beautiful, the pigeons are so amazing that they sell. So that's exploitation of the pigeons, right? Because this photographer makes money from it, basically. So I think in that way, exploitation is it's okay. It's a good definition for 99.9% of how we interact with animals, but there are like specific things that I would say don't seem to affect animals at all. That's why I say that I think people should operate with the animal's best interest in mind, right? I think that's how we write laws and give rights. We think about the people we want to well, we don't want to give them rights, but we think about the people, or the animals, the subjugated, and we ask, okay, what would be the best thing for them? So thinking about an animal and their best interest, I think, is the best way to avoid exploitation, which is definitionally like bad for 99.9% of the time. It's you exploiting somebody for your own gain. But this one specific thing that I thought about, like a photography of pigeons and selling those photographs, is still exploitation, but it doesn't interact with animals in any kind of way. Like, I guess you could like philosophize that maybe pigeon photography is so beautiful that people would want pigeons and they would breed more pigeons. I guess it could lead to exploitation, but the act itself of the photography is, although exploitative, it doesn't interact with the well-being of an animal in any way.
Yeah, you like what you just explained. It doesn't like protrude to the definition. The definition should have to be a like textbook definition. It should have a higher term and a differential difference, which
Sorry, again,
would be,
can you say that
you
again?
need to have a higher term. So like and definition and difference. So why is that different from other that are included in the higher term? But I already see that this person, Leslie, whatever, made a mistake. He focused on the diet. So that is another problem.
No, that's the thing. He totally. I mean, he did as an end result, but he was banging on about ending exploitation of animals as the reason for why you should avoid animal products. I'm actually not sure. I feel a bit ignorant. Somebody write in the chat if the current definition of veganism was written by Leslie Cross. I think not. I think somebody else wrote it. But Leslie Cross was banging on about ending exploitation. And as I explained, in 99.9% of the time, I agree with him. I just I word it differently because I have this idea. Like, I think when you think about animals' best interest in mind, and you can actually like take every situation of interaction with an animal and put it in a form of an argument, and if the end product is it's either a positive interaction with an animal, with animal's best interest, or doesn't interact with animal's best interest in any kind of way, then it's vegan.
Yeah, that's the other point. Finding interest of animals is tricky. Philosophically, it is very tricky.
Why?
First of all, what that means that is, and it is different to how we make laws for humans. We make laws for humans by basically asking humans, or humans more usually, being vocal about what they want.
Well, not specifically. I mean, we do have laws for children and toddlers and shit. We do have also laws for animals, god damn it. We have laws like against abusing specific kinds of animals. We have the Welfare Act that tries kind of to mitigate exploitation.
Yeah,
It doesn't try to
unfortunately,
mitigate exploitation. It tries to put in writing what is okay and not okay to do, but it just does it way too much in accordance with the industry. But we have laws like against abusing cats and dogs in some countries, maybe not in all countries.
Yeah, but they are not made because the animal wants it, it's because the human wanted it.
No, but they were thinking about the animal's best interest in mind. I mean, it doesn't interact with the human in any way to protect an animal from abuse. In fact, it's actually, you know, if somebody is abusing your dog and you come up to them and say, hey, listen, what you're doing is illegal and I'm arresting you, right? So it's actually a negative indication for the human. So they weren't thinking about humans, they were thinking about animals.
But that well, not just that, but that law was made due to the public pressure of humans, not animals, right? So it is the
Yeah,
human
you think.
desire.
Sorry,
So
finish.
it is in humans' interest to do so. But that is
I don't think
like
it's. No, hold on. No. I have a contention with that. I don't think it's in humans' interest. I think humans, when they think about animals and see their best interest in mind, then they can do. Then they create laws that are just for the animals. But again, as I gave an example just now, I mean, it's not for the human's best interest. For the human's best interest is to do with whatever the fuck we want with animals, because we greatly benefit using animals in all kinds of ways.
that would be if humans would be perfectly logical beings, which they are not. They are, and I mean logical, like in quotation marks. They are emotional, and that is why certain animals are protected, certain animals are not protected.
Yeah,
It has
sure.
nothing to do with the animals, but with the human
Well, the
desire,
fact
because
that
laws are human.
well, yeah, the human desire to protect the animals and think of their best interest. Yes, they are hypocritical by making those laws incredibly selective toward very specific animals, but that doesn't. I mean, we're looking at it at this point in time, 30, 40 years ago, even those laws didn't exist, right? And people could do to their dogs whatever the fuck they wanted. I'm sorry, during this I'm gonna snack on stuff. I apologize, I haven't eaten yet, so.
No problem. Yeah, that's actually we can. Yeah, first of all, I just need to say that I don't think that there is a justification for laws protecting animals.
Why's that?
And well, there in legal like not studies, but yeah. So there, I believe 4 or 5. It depends on what exact act author you. As there are 4 reasons to make a law, and one is moral, and it doesn't mean like philosophical morality, but like something closer to my version of morality. So basically, folk morality. What most people think that it is desirable will be protected, and what is undesirable will be prevented. Second one is to protect the state. Third one is to prevent a conflict between parties, and what the fourth one is for taxes.
Okay.
And animal protection doesn't really, I believe,
Well, how do you
fulfill any of
find
those
how do you
four.
find morality then? I mean, we do have like laws against I don't know, exploitation, killing of certain kinds of humans, where we used to not have those laws, and it was totally okay to exploit and torture those and kill those specific humans. So those laws appeared from something, right? So I guess, how do you define morality, and why does it exclude giving the same basic rights to animals?
Well, for somebody to, I don't want to go to this. People can rewatch our first talk to go over my morality, but you can say that discriminating against other some subgroups of humans can be under preventing conflict between parties.
Wait, you said that was the third thing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
tautology. It becomes
they are not
tautology by
in a
the way you
row.
define it.
They are equally as important. They are not in
Sorry, you said
like
the first thing is morality. The second thing is I don't remember because it's not
protection of
relevant.
state.
Yeah.
So protection of like
The third one is the between parties, the thing between parties
yeah,
that you just said.
the
So you
conflict between
define
parties.
morality to enact the same way as the third reason. So you make morality, you wipe it out basically. You make it not
To make a law.
like.
And
Maybe I misunderstood. So can you say it again? It seems like you're doing this. You're doing this. What I'm saying right now. No.
I don't understand where the confusion is. So there are 4 reasons. First is morality. Second one is protection of the state. Third one is conflict between parties, and fourth one is taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay,
the
and then you
functional state.
define morality as.
In this case, it's not how I define it, it's how like legal people who study law define it, and it is basically folk morality, cultural beliefs, you can say it. This is not my definition of morality, but it is the legal, like not legal definition, but when used in discussing law, cultural norms and practices
Okay,
would
but
be.
cultural norms and practices are changing. They're changing somehow,
Yeah,
right?
they are.
Yeah. So, fine, okay. We're working as vegans to change the cultural norms. Great. And then it
Yes,
will
you
come
are.
legislation. Great. Perfect. Then
Yeah,
it's fine. My veganism is working. Let's just say. No?
yeah. I don't think that there is a reason, but that's my personal opinion. And basically, my personal opinions are only important to myself. Second one is you talked about, we can go back to the definition after we discussed a bit of problems. Maybe then it
Mm-hmm.
will be clear. You discussed that it is, I forgot what word you used, but basically hypocritical to differentiate between species. And I think it is
Did I say
not.
that? Oh, hold on. Hypocritical. I have to write it out. I'm sorry. My attention span is terrible these days. So it's
Yeah, well, basically, why do we
hypocritical.
protect dogs and cats and not, I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. I
whatever?
said that today. Yeah, I don't have to write that down. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you said that today, yeah. Uh,
I
and
thought you
I
meant
don't,
like like. Okay, so can I expand a little bit?
sure.
Okay, so it kind of depends, right? You basically, the way I come to veganism and to this entire moral question, right, is what I said, right? You take an animal, you think about their best interest. I think in most situations, it's not difficult to find out what those are, best interests of an animal, and then you give them those rights. That's, of course, my personal opinion. Some people think that they need to give like all human rights to animals. Some people think all negative rights to animals. I think we can just go like species by species basis, right? So I don't find a relevant difference between a dog, a pig, and a cow. All right. I don't find, so I would call that hypocritical. I do find maybe potentially some differences between a dog and a mosquito or a fly, right? I don't know what those are because I'm numpty, but they probably exist, and it's probably good. I don't know. Could be a bit weird to give the same rights that we give to dogs to give the same rights to flies, based on something that I've kind of been thinking about, like based on their size, right? You can't protect them, just basically based on their size, and based on the fact that their lifespan is tiny, is absolutely the smallest thing ever. So like giving like you have like a circle of rights, or like increasing rights in case of humans, right? Because we live long lives, we transition from one situation to another. We're first a fetus, then a child, then a young adult over 18, then a regular adult through most of your life, then you are a senior adult, and all of those need different rights and protections. So I would say, on just based on the fact that flies have very short lives, it's going to be very difficult to legislate for them. But for like a cow, it seems to be that cow should have the same rights as a dog.
Yeah, uh, I will just say that what you said is like it sometimes it stands. I can pick it apart, but it's still really used for it
Go for
because
it.
I could like ask you to name the trait, but
Sure.
but I don't think that it will be
I mean,
that
I'm
it
saying I
will,
can't find the trait, so I don't know why would you ask to name the trait. Or do you mean between a dog and a fly? I named two
yeah,
traits.
between the dog and a fly.
I've
Yeah,
named two traits.
yeah, I understand, but that can be uh, I can come up with a hypothetical like vegans do to like
That would be
make you.
hypocritical because I'm trying my hardest not to give you hypothetical because I know you don't like them. So
No, I love hypotheticals.
oh yeah, I'm sure. I've
I
heard
do.
your some of your debates. So the way you treat hypotheticals is that whatever you say in a hypothetical doesn't actually matter in the real world. So
Well,
right?
whatever you said is in a hypothetical only matters in
Yeah,
the only matters in that hypothetical, right?
that's what you
You
are saying.
cannot.
I don't think
It,
so, but
it I don't think it does. Like it doesn't. What was the hypothetical that I was asked last? I don't know if I published that debate, but they asked me like name the trait. It
yeah.
doesn't matter. Uh, but would you? I don't know. Whatever. Would you support slavery if you were born in like ancient Rome?
Mm.
And I would say, I don't know.
Yeah, you
And
can't
that
know
is,
that.
sorry?
You can't know that. That's way too abstract. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree with you.
So with those hypotheticals, or do you think that it is okay for alien Z to kill alien B? Is that moral for alien
Oh,
B?
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I don't know.
yeah, you can't put yourself in the head of an alien, but you can
Yeah,
be
so
in
that
your own head and answer as your own self in hypotheticals that aren't as out there, and that
yeah.
can be like related to. But you don't like that? That's okay.
No,
I'm trying not
I
to.
mean I can, but I cannot detach myself from my personal views.
Nobody's
That
asking you.
that
That's exactly how you should treat hypotheticals. You should answer within your personal views. That's what they are for. You can't detach yourself. So, yeah,
yeah,
you
but
can't be asked to be put in somebody else's head because you have to be in your own head to answer in a hypothetical. But you seem
yeah,
to not do that in some of the debates that I saw. You seem to stipulate it with "I would be a different person" or something like that because it's in a hypothetical. No, when you're presented with a hypothetical, assuming that that hypothetical is not asking you to put yourself in somebody else's brain, you should answer as yourself, as candidly as possible.
yeah. So I agree with it, and I will answer if I can. So go ahead. If you want to use hypotheticals, I will be more than happy
No,
to.
you're
I
interrogating
don't.
me
I
right now.
cannot
I'm
think.
not.
I am now running my brain. I don't know what in which debate I didn't answer hypothetical. I usually do answer them.
No, you answer
But
them, but you say, okay, so specifically the debate with Vegan Gains from 2 years ago about,
oh, with vegan gains, yeah,
yeah,
about me being all powerful God.
yeah, Vegan Gays, right? L. I don't know if I
Yeah.
said N there.
I think the only hypothetical she asked me, what would I do if I could make a world like however I want? And I said that I would be a selfish god. Honestly, animals wouldn't even come to my mind.
Yeah, yeah, okay. That's
Okay, so
pretty damn selfish, yeah.
yeah, I mean, I'm not vegan, so I don't think about animals all the time.
Well,
uh,
it's the circular problem. I'm not vegan, so I don't think about the animals. I don't think about the animals, so I'm not vegan.
Yeah, that's true, but
It's basically.
that's why a reason to answer to a hypothetical from me shouldn't be like this surprising. And I mean, it would be same like selfishness for a vegan to answer that I will make a vegan world because well, we will both be just fulfilling our wishes, so it is the same.
I don't know if I would be so unspecific as to say that I would make a vegan world. I would be very specific about it. I
Yeah,
would waffle for about like 6 months about it, but I would
yeah,
be
but
very specific. Yeah.
just to like shorten the conversation,
Yeah.
not just yeah. Okay, so you wouldn't have problem with one of the things that I have a problem with vegans is when they call non-vegans speciesist. Do you think that that's a problem to be a speciesist?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
but you are just speciesist against mosquitoes.
Let me think about it. By the way, I will revise my statement if needed. So, but
Yeah,
I have to write it out. So what's let's see what speciesism. Hold on.
yeah, there are many definitions.
Yeah. So the main definition is it's not just as simplistic as I think so, right? It's not just as simplistic as differentiating between species, because I think it's okay to differentiate between species. What you cannot do is just blatantly say it's that species and that's why it doesn't deserve a right to live, right? That's what I think speciesism is. If you have a different definition, let's talk about that. And that's not what I said with mosquitoes. I was very specific to say what traits mosquitoes have. Well, I didn't even talk about mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are a special thing in my heart. I think mosquitoes. If I had the button and I could kill all mosquitoes, I would. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would as well, but
Yeah. And I'm not doing that based on species. I can name very specific traits of why I would push that button.
I mean, yeah, but species just a bunch of traits, and so there is not much difference
I
between.
don't think so, no. I think species, right, is a taxonomic classification, and that's what is meant by it when people say speciesism, right? The way racism is the differentiating between the races of people. It's not a taxonomic classification because we abolished that shit, but species is still a taxonomic classification, right? So we have
Yeah, but it is
bovine,
done.
we have canine. What's the difference between the two? No specific moral differences why you should kill one and protect the other? Great. So that's the species. So people say, oh, dogs are like a species that we grew accustomed to or whatever, or, bred to be our friend. And cows were bred to be food, right? And they basing that on species. Like if you trait swap those traits, they wouldn't accept it.
Yeah, but if we trace swap, then they wouldn't be the species that they are, right?
No, I'm not. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Hold on. So maybe we need the definition of speciesism. Maybe we need that. Let's try to search one out.
Can I, while
Yeah,
you search, can I ask you a hypothetical that I usually ask vegans that are
go for it.
not okay with speciesism? Let's say I put you in a box and you will be in that box for 5 hours. It's a small box. And I offer you a choice. I can put in there with you a ladybug or a black mamba. Or you can flip a coin. So what would you do? You can choose.
Ladybug.
Yeah, that's. I would call that a speciesism.
I wouldn't. Black Mamba
And
is wait, hold on. Sorry. I assume that Black Mamba can hurt me. Right? I don't know what that is. Who is Black Mamba?
It's a poisonous snake.
There you go.
Right.
So I'm just trying to
Or
protect
venomous
myself.
snake,
I'm not
sorry.
differentiating between species. I'm just trying to protect myself.
Yeah, and the problem is that if you ask the same question to, let's say, a racist person, and would you prefer if I put a member of your race or a different race with you, they will choose their own race. and then we call them racist.
Yeah.
So wouldn't and only information they got is a race, and only
Well,
information you got is a species.
well, no.
So,
I assumed correctly that black mamba would hurt me. I don't think you
yeah,
can make that assumption about race of people.
well, a racist can.
Yeah, but that's because they're racist.
Yeah, and you are because you are species.
No, we know for sure definitionally that black mamba will hurt me and ladybug will not.
Yeah, and he knows that his own race will not
No,
hurt
but it's
him,
not
and
true. He can't definitionally say that some kind of race of people will hurt him, has more chance to hurt him than another kind of person, a race of people. That
he can,
definitionally doesn't work. We
or
don't
they
have
can.
races of people, like all race of people will hurt you. Or all race of people will not hurt you. We don't have that. We have like different people. If you put I don't know, a white person with me, they have pretty much the same percentage of chance that they will hurt me as if you put a Jewish person with me, right?
The problem is not in how do I say what reality, but perception. Perception
I don't
is
give a
the
shit
important
about
part.
no, I don't
But
think
it,
so. I
yeah,
think
let me explain. Let me
oh,
explain.
sorry, okay.
Okay, so what you both did, both you and the racist, you ascribed the attributes of the group to an individual. And just because yours are more accurate than his is irrelevant. It is that you
What?
both. Sorry?
Sorry, no, continue. I'm just flabbergasted here. Okay, but continue.
So you both have ideas about a group. You have ideas about black mambas, and that person can have idea about, let's say, black people. And I'm not like making the distinction.
Yeah. That's fine.
Don't black mama, black people. Well, just it's accidental actually. Uh, uh, that racist person has the idea that blacks are dangerous, evil, whatever. He ascribes that means that that person that I will put with him will be bad, evil, whatever. And you have that black mamba will be dangerous and deadly. And that is the same reason that people have perception that dogs will be lovely and playful, and that cows will just go around mooing.
Whoa, that last part you totally lost me on. But the first part, let me address. I don't understand why I have to give credence to somebody's perception when it's not rooted in the truth.
Well, the truth is just perception, right?
No,
Otherwise,
something definite. If you put me with a black mamba in a small room, it's I don't see how it's not gonna bite me. I don't see
it could
a
be
way
dead.
out. What? Sorry?
It could be dead. I never said it is alive.
Oh, now you're playing games. Come on.
No, I'm just saying that I will made a choice.
You know what?
depending-
If it was a choice between a dead black mamba or a dead ladybug, then I
Yeah,
would take black
but-
mamba. Okay?
But
I mean, it
I'm
doesn't
just-
matter.
No, but I just gave you a limited information. It is about your perception of the situation, right?
Right, and that was on you. You didn't give me enough information. Yeah, maybe. No, you know what? It's on me as well. I didn't ask this very specific question: is the
Yeah, I
black
wouldn't
mamba
answer it
alive or dead?
anyway.
Right, because I don't think that should be considered in any way. So it didn't even cross my mind to consider that the black mamba could be dead in any way.
I did it. If you ask me, I wouldn't answer you because only thing that I want to for you to make a decision on, only information I want you to have is the species, nothing else. And if you make a distinction upon one attribute of the individual, I think that it is perfectly okay for me to call you a species if you make a decision based on a species.
Sorry, it's a hell of an attribute, right? If it was actually more dangerous for me, and I knew that for sure, we had statistics and shit, right? That putting a Jew with me in a small room would be more dangerous to me than putting a white person, then I would choose to put a white person with me because, you know, self-preservation, it has nothing to do with the species. It has to do with what this traits, like this very specific trait
I perfectly agree.
yeah, it interacts with my well-being. You understand? So I have to think about my well-being as well. So how does that address the situation of why you eat animals? Like, it wouldn't interact with your well-being to a degree, right? To go vegan. You could go. You understand that you could be on a vegan diet and you could start thinking about animals.
I mean, yeah, I could also be an ISIS member.
Sorry? A what?
I can also be an ISIS member.
Well, an ISIS member would interact with your well-being, I think, and the well-being of many other people.
Well, it would.
And animals, frankly. So, yeah, why is that analogous in any way to what I'm asking? Can you answer the question?
I'm just saying that it is perfectly acceptable, at least in my opinion, and it's perfectly understandable to treat different things differently.
Well, okay, so based on what I just asked, can you answer the question? How would that interact with your well-being in any, or not your well-being, your best interest to not go vegan?
Well, because it is my interest to eat meat. I want to do that.
Oh, so you want to, and that justifies killing trillions of animals.
I don't know what you mean, but justifies, but it explains.
Well, let's go back to the black mamba situation, right? I am justified not to want to have a live black mamba in a room with me because it interacts with my best interest.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be. Hold on.
Can
I please finish?
Sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
If I knew, for instance, that if I don't put that black mamba with me in the little room, right, and I'm taking an extreme that you are not in any kind of way, but if I don't take that black mamba in me in the little room, the entire world wipes out, right? Then it would be my moral imperative to take that black mamba into the room with me. But you are not even in that situation. Your interaction with your well-being is so minuscule, and the entire world blowing up, for instance, like, doesn't even move your moral intuition at all, right?
What do you mean doesn't move my whole
Well, let's see what's at stake, right? Because every moral situation I'm trying to think of the best interest of everybody involved, everybody who's sentient, right? Just to make it very clear, I don't think about plants that much. So you have a situation in which trillions of animals bred, exploited, tortured, killed. The way it interacts with your well-being is that you don't want to stop doing something you like.
Yes.
Yeah, this is where I always try to be cordial, but this is where I call you a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your opinion on me, I don't really care, but the point of hypothetical is to show that that everybody treats, not everybody.
No, I'm sorry, you're not getting the distinction, though. You're not getting this distinction between the two.
What? Well, how I don't?
I mean, I'm not just saying, oh, I don't put black mamba in there because it's species, some kind of species. No, it would be detrimental to me to put
Yeah, I agree. It
detrimental
would
in
be
a way that
detrimental.
isn't that isn't
Yeah,
like stopping eating animal products.
yeah, and it would be detrimental to me to stop eating chickens.
How?
Well, it would interfere with my wishes
Yeah, there you
because I
go.
have a wish to eat a chicken, same as you have a wish to be alive.
No, you think those are the same, Conan? Come
Well,
on.
all
Be
wishes
real.
are.
Come on, be real. If I put you in two situations, right? In one situation, you in two worlds. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna make a hypothetical. I put you in two rooms. In one room, you don't get to do what you like. In the other room, you get to you die. Which room do you choose? Right? There is a moral
The
difference
question
between
is,
those two
do I want to
things.
live? If I want to live, then I would die in either room,
What do
right?
you? No, that's not how hypotheticals work. You've been around long enough to
Yeah.
know.
So
So you
in
have two
one
rooms.
thing,
No, hold
wait,
on.
no,
You
no.
have two
You ask me a
rooms.
hypothetical, I will answer.
Okay,
So in
thank you.
one room, in room A, my wish won't come true, right?
No, you have to stop doing something you like,
Okay, so like what?
like eating chicken.
Okay, in this particular case, me being alive is higher priority wish than eating chicken.
Oh, there you go. So you can prioritize some things,
Yeah,
right?
you can always have just one highest wish.
So how about if you go into the room where you don't get a chicken, a person gets to live, right?
Yeah, okay, I will probably not get the chicken in that case.
Yeah. Okay.
But if I cannot get a chicken and 10,000 chickens will then live, if I don't get the chicken, otherwise I would die, I would get my chicken.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what to do with that. I mean, that's just selfish crap, and you know.
I mean, I I don't know what answer you were expecting.
No, I wasn't expecting anything. I'm just pointing it out for my chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So problems with
I mean, there
vegans.
are other things as well. I apologize. I'm gonna bang on about it a little bit longer, right? Right? If
No
the world
problem.
doesn't go vegan, the detrimentality of it on the environment and blah blah blah, all that shit. Oh, you probably have things to say about that, right? So
Well,
it's not detrimental to the environment, to the animal agriculture. It's not detrimental to the environment, do you think?
well, I think that it has a negative impact on the environment, but I think that it has a net positive impact on humanity. So
Because people like eating chicken.
yeah, they like eating chicken more than they like the environment. Yes.
No, I don't think so. I think they're just not making the connection there.
I
I
think
mean,
they
there's a
do.
two different things, right? You have one that you can get now and enjoy now, and one that it's so incremental that you don't even see how devastating it is. So of
Yeah,
course
and I
people,
mean,
yeah, but you know the difference. You're a smart guy. You know that the detrimental part, the long run part, is more important than the
mm,
taste pleasure right now, right?
no, it isn't. Actually, I am economist, and I know that in economy, current consumption is much more appealing than later consumption, and it should have like pretty big payoff on the end to, in like a term of interest or something, to prolong your satisfaction. That is a well-known attribute of
No, that's
like
how things are.
humans.
I'm asking you to make a judgment of which one is worse. You not getting this localized pleasure, or you prolonging like the entire species of humanity, right? Basically, because if we don't have an environment, it's gonna take time. It's gonna take about 200 years, but people are basically gonna be fucked.
Mm, No, I mean it won't be fucked to the point that human, even civilization, not just human survival, will be questioned. That will not.
Why?
You are way overblowing the.
Why do you think that? Well, I'm not way overblowing. I'm a numpty. I'm just reading what scientists say.
Yeah,
And the 200 years, I just made it up, just in case anybody was
yeah,
thinking that that's an
I,
actual
I,
timeline.
but even the worst predictions won't end human
What are you
civilization
basing that
on those scientific predictions.
Yeah, it's gonna make shit incredibly worse, right? It's gonna kill
For
most
many
people.
people,
It's gonna
yeah,
kill
but
most people. Yeah.
not. Did you say most people?
Yeah.
No, it will.
Yeah,
No,
we're gonna
not.
run out of water, man.
No, that is highly unlikely.
Well,
I don't see how we can run out of water on the planet that is 70-something% water.
yeah, most of it, it's not drinkable,
Uh,
right? You have to
well, it
use
is drinkable. You just need to desalinate it.
you have to do extreme things to that water to be able to drink it.
Well, not extreme things, not like
Incredibly energetically expensive things.
yeah, but
Yeah.
soon
That means
won't
the
be a
water is gonna
probably
be in the hands of corporations, and people who can't afford water will
Well,
die.
it will probably be in hands of public utilities, same as your water is now. So
Yeah, but right now there is enough water for me to pay a fee and get it, and it's
and
not as
same will be the
and it's
case
not
then.
as energetically expensive as it would be to salinate the water. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean there are plenty of countries that use desalinated water right now.
Not 100%. No, they use
No, not
salinate. It's like
100%.
yeah, like a
You
very
won't
small
even need it to
percent.
be 100%
Yes, you do.
in the
It's
case
gonna
of
become incredibly
reverse predictions.
expensive. It's gonna
Sorry?
become prohibitively expensive for most people to get water.
I don't think so.
Oh, great. Then, yeah, settled. I mean, it's prohibitively expensive. It's not prohibitive yet, right? Because they're doing like up to a very, very small percent of water. Where I'm at, I think it's like 3%, and it's not drinkable water. They don't fully salinate it. They use it for crops and shit and for animals. It's very
I don't know
expensive.
where you live, but there are places like Maldives that are basically almost all desalinated water.
They also import an incredible amount of water, Maldives. I just happen to know.
In bottles, but they also use like this almost desalinated water for basically everything. Also, what other places? Dubai uses a lot of desalinated water. What else? I can't think it like now on top of my head. There are municipalities in the places like South Africa that use desalinated water. Now, whole countries don't usually use whole desalinated water, but there wouldn't even be need for use desalinated water 100% of the case. It is untrue that it would.
$1.50 for water in a store, right? So it's just regular store. $1.50 for a bottle of water. You need to drink like 2 of these a day. Holy shit, that's already prohibitive. Maldives is mostly people. It's Maldives, isn't it? It's just like basically a resort island. Yeah. That's what it says right there. So it's basically people who live there. They provide resort for people who don't live there. They come for a vacation. So people who come for a vacation don't count the money as much. But like living there is probably they spent a shitload of money on like $3 a day on water every day. That's $600 a month. I would call that prohibitive. I don't know about you.
I wouldn't probably because I also bring bottled water, but okay.
Does it cost $1.50 for like how much of let's try a percent of minimum wage? How much do you waste on money on water?
A percent of minimum wage.
Yeah, about. Yeah, I'm not trying to catch you.
I don't think what is the minimum wage. I'm paying
Lucky.
around probably 300 for about 5%, let's say.
5% of minimum wage?
Yeah.
That's cheap.
Actually, let me calculate not to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
lie to you.
I wouldn't call it lying. It's just not considering. Meanwhile, people in the chat, how are you doing? I'm
And I
sorry.
just want to
Yeah.
mention that it is just me and municipal water is drinkable in Croatia.
Yeah.
But we should go back to.
But also,
I
this is just
also like to point out that
yeah.
it is very fun how you came down to environment and you criticized
Yeah.
the
Well,
definition of
because my
society.
love, because Conan, because you
Oh
don't
yes,
give a
oh yeah,
shit about
45%.
animals. You don't give a shit about animals, so I'm going to something else. I'm trying to explain to you that when you give a shit about people, you should go plant-based for people.
Mm, I mean, they should
Yeah.
go plant-based from themselves, and they're not going. So
Who's they? I'm talking about you. I'm not talking
you,
about
I
anybody
will be
else.
fine.
You will be fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you'll die soon.
Well, I won't hopefully die soon.
Oh yeah, you're younger than me. No, I'm just meaning,
I'm
right?
32. I don't know how old you are.
Sorry?
I am 32,
I'm 43.
almost.
So yeah, when we talk about the environment, we are now just starting to feel the brink of it. But when we talk about it, we're not talking for ourselves, right? We're talking for the next generation who's going to get worse, and generation after that, it's going to get even worse for them, right? And we talk. I mean, we could talk about the environment for the wild animals or whatever, but I don't find that convincing, like to you at least, right? Because you don't give a shit about animals. So, you can say I'm selfish, I'll do whatever the fuck I want, but I think you care about people, and if you care about people, you should go plant based. But I know that won't happen, so you
Not
can
really
continue
what.
prodding my veganism. How about that?
Yeah,
Let's just
yeah.
go back to that.
Let's go back to protein veganism. So, do you think that we are done with speciesism, or do you think that still vegans have something to stand on when they call non-vegan
Yeah, because
species?
I think you just didn't understand my point. But yeah, I think
I
so.
mean,
I think so. But
if
I have to say, yeah, I didn't think about it way too much. I do have to. We can do it right now if you want.
yeah, I
Uh,
mean, if you have no problem treating mosquitoes differently than
but because
a
of the
dog, why
detriment to
should?
me, right? The
Yeah,
cow didn't do anything to me. The cow doesn't interact with my well-being, so I don't find a conflict there to not treat, like to not do anything to a cow. With mosquitoes as well, okay, I have to explain something about the mosquitoes. I did in my previous video, but only like 60 people saw it, and maybe not all the way, so but I have like a disorder that when a mosquito or anybody else, actually, like any kind of animal bites me, I have a pretty severe reaction to it. I don't know if it's allergy, but it specifically triggers my restless leg syndrome. I don't know why. And the restless leg syndrome, it just basically means I'm not gonna sleep that night, right? And I have like a severe itching, something that I didn't see ever like other people do. It's like insane. It drives me insane when I'm bitten by a mosquito. But I'm still taking great care to not kill mosquitoes, right? I'm taking an amazing amount of care. I basically live in a netted house. I netted myself in with some flies and some spiders. They can't live either. And once in a while I find a foot moth and I'm like kicking them out, but because I can catch them and I can't catch the other animals. But basically I lock myself in. And still, because I open the front door, once in a while a mosquito gets in. After the mosquito got in, if I see them or if they bit me once, then I put a repellent, right? It's only in the case that the repellent doesn't work that I try to kill them, okay? So I've done everything I could to save their existence, right? But I did not sign up to be a blood cow. The way a cow did not sign up to be a cow, like a milk cow, right? So for the same reason I want to grant rights to cows, I think I have the right to defend myself from a mosquito for the same exact reason, right? And it has nothing to do with species. If a cow was to bite me and me having the same reactions, then I would be for killing a cow, you know?
Well, it does have to do with species.
Why? Because it's the trait of the
wait,
species?
wait. First of all, just because you were probably joking. I don't expect you to really press the button and kill all the mosquitoes. But also, only female mosquitoes bite.
No, yeah, it's true. Yeah, that's why I take so much precaution to not kill them. Only if they beat me, I'm still imploding like the non-lethal way to try to make them not bite me, but they still do. Like if they have like one part of uncovered skin with the repellent, they'll bite me. I sleep with a clove in my bed because it repels them. You know, I go to unimaginable lengths to not kill them.
Yeah, the problem is that I don't think you, not just you, but many vegans, when they talk to non-vegans and in like activism environment, when they say, "Oh, what's the difference between a cow and a dog? Why do you treat one differently? Why wouldn't you eat why wouldn't you eat the dog?"
Yeah, and you say.
I can say whatever. I can even say that it is. First, I personally would say I like to eat one, not the other. Same as I like to have sex with a particular.
Well, here's the crux. We got there. That's the thing. I am naming a trait that a species has that is detrimental to me. And you are naming a trait that you are describing the species with, and it's not their inherent traits. So what do you mean? Like I like to eat cats. You say, oh, well, it's not cats. Sorry, cows. You say I like to eat cows, but I don't like to eat dogs. That's not their trait. Dogs are delicious, right? That's not the traits that they possess. That's it. You liking to do something to them, or with them, or with the dead bodies, or whatever. So that's not their inherent trait. That's not the inherent trait of the species.
Right?
It
is.
How?
It is. Let me explain.
Sure.
My opinion on things are, well, they're not inherent to them, but
that's my point.
But it is same as the mosquitoes are. What they do to you is not inherent to them, right? It's inherent to you.
Of course, no. It's inherent to them.
It's not.
They need blood to survive. Right, the female mosquitoes, or to lay eggs,
to reproduce.
Yes, yes. So it's an inherent trait of them. I just happen to be their victim. Yeah,
and it is your opinion that is undesirable, which is irrelevant, not their. You pass judgment on their abilities. Their abilities are basically relevant. It is your opinion also.
Yeah. So how is it the cow's ability to be eaten by you?
Well, it is bigger than a dog and it eats shit the dogs wouldn't eat, which are cheaper than the shit dogs eat. So
Sorry again.
they're bigger than dogs and they eat shit dogs won't eat.
Well, you can feed dogs other shit, and you can just raise more dogs
Yeah, but it'll be
for the same.
expensive.
No, it's cheaper. What do you mean?
It's not cheaper.
It's not cheaper,
Not
but it's fucking same, right? You have the trophic level. You have like a biomass of whatever, right? You have a 400 kilo cow, and you have however many dogs that are also 400 kilos, right? If you restrain them the way we restrain cows, if you don't let them run around, if you give them shit food, it doesn't have to be the shit food that cows get. It can be other shit food, right? Just to make them bigger. They don't have
It
to
was
like.
even
They don't have to be like
expensive.
well-being. They don't have to be healthy. It's the same biomass. It's the same energy expenditure. So
Well, it isn't when
what do you?
dogs are higher on the food chain than cows, but
So
yeah.
what?
But
No,
it
no,
will be more expensive. That is one point. Second point is
no. You
I
don't have to feed
like
dogs
interacting with dogs more
animals,
than
right?
cows.
So hold on.
Right?
You know that like dogs are omnivores. You don't have to feed them
Dogs are
meat and
not really
shit.
omnivorous.
They are omnivorous.
They are not.
It's well documented that they are omnivorous, and they can.
They are not omnivorous. No, they have marginal adaptations to eating, not
Excellent. You know
animals.
what? They don't have to survive for long, right? And we don't give a shit about their nutritional health. They can live on shit, right? It could be different shit because they are not ruminant. We can feed them a different kind of shit. We have a lot of shit in this world, right? We can even feed them expired meats or whatever that get thrown away and not used and just rot, right? We can create the way when soy is
Yeah, well,
produced.
we
Right? Well,
basically do
hold on.
that with
Let me finish. The
world
way
food.
when
Dog food.
soy wheat is produced, right? They collect all the stock and all that shit that is unusable to humans. They put it on a truck and they transport it. So we can do the same like kind of situation with the meats, and then you get basically the same. It's not as expensive, right? It's cheap shit. You just have to transport it. The way you transport food for cows. Very weak reasoning, Conan.
No,
Seriously,
it
not
is
enough
part
imagination
of the
on your
reasoning.
part.
Second part is that I personally like dogs more than cows.
Oh, excellent. That's your trait. That's not the dog's trait. That's your
Uh,
perception for sure.
I liked him because of the traits of the dog. Same as you don't like the mamba because of the traits of the mamba, right?
No, because the way it interacts with my well-being.
Well, the same as dog interacts with my well-being.
Yeah, but we're going in circles at this point. We have a hierarchy of well-being. The well-being, the way you perceive it, is something that makes me feel good. The way I perceive it is something that kills me. Right? There are degrees of well-being. So, you know.
Well,
So it's kind of like it's weird that you're still trying to put them on the same level as equal explanation for what I do and for what you do.
well, I think that they are equal. They're both wish grantments.
No. Sorry, I'm gonna hold you to the fire on this because you have chosen before that you are not entering the room in which you die.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
So
means that it's higher, right, on the hierarchy of well-being
yeah, it
than
is.
not eating a chicken. So there you go. You can't put them on the same level
Of course you can. They are both
because they're wish
wishes.
granting. No, it's just a word game again.
No,
Listen,
they are. No, it's not a word game. It's a philosophical view. They are both wishes. They are not inherently uh, differentiated on the totem pole. It is how I personally, at that particular moment, wish to, or wish, or maybe not even consciously wish to. They simply arise, right?
No, I don't view it that way. We are able to reason if we're able to
Well, if we
reason, we
have time
fucking
to
should.
reason.
What?
Sorry,
If we're
if we
able
have
to
time to
reason
reason.
and create hierarchies of morality, we probably fucking should.
Why?
Why? Because it has relevance to everybody involved. If somebody is if somebody is dying because of me, I might as well fucking justify it in a way that that is meaningful and not because I like something, right?
Yeah, but it is only you who will assign it meaning, so it is your wish.
Okay, perfect. I think we came to a pass. Actually, I think.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
get done. We are done with speciesism. What other? We also touched on. I don't think that we need something a bit less contentious right now. We have do you want to go back on to rights because you are a
Sure.
rights-based vegan?
Yeah, sure.
So in the last conversation, you said that rights rights are basically just your wishes for the animals that you want to ratify into law. And
No way I said it like that. There is no fucking chance in the world.
okay, so
Because I don't think that morality is just something that I wish for.
oh, great. So do you want to explain what rights are then? And not legal rights.
I only talk about legal rights. I don't know what natural
Okay,
rights
so
are, and if they exist, I don't
okay,
know.
so but when you say it's rights violation, it's not rights violation when there are no such things in law.
Well, the way I look at it, right? Okay, this is actually something I wanted to explain for a while now. So it's a figure of speech, and maybe it's a figure of speech. Hold on, let me put my words into something that makes sense. So, okay. So when I say that a rights violation, right, rights violation occurs, I mean by that it should be illegal, right?
And why it should be?
Something should be illegal, right?
Why?
Right? What do you mean why?
Why do you think something should be a legal right?
When
Why do you think?
when it hinges on somebody's when I think about somebody who I think I should grant rights to, it's because I think of their best interest, and if their best interest is incredibly hindered, then I think there should be a law against that, and that's a right in my
And why their
perception.
interest matters?
It matters to me because I'm not a selfish
Okay,
piece of
so
shit.
I was correct. It is your.
Yeah, but I think it should matter to everybody because I don't think people should be selfish.
Yeah, I mean that's your wish and your opinion.
Yeah.
So it counts down to your wishes.
Well, the
and opinions,
problem
so
is that
I was right.
even if you were to be like, even for selfish reasons, you should stop victimizing. So like okay, so this is the thing, right? We have rights against rape, right? And if you were really a selfish asshole, you would go rape people.
Why? I don't want to do that.
Great. Why do you think that is?
I think it is a mix of both moralistic and moral judgment. Or if you don't remember what is basically my natural inclinations and my social conditioning.
Oh, so if I remember correctly, this is something that you invented.
No, I did not invent moral instinct and moral judgment. That is well-known terms in philosophy.
Listen, being a YouTuber is a weird thing. It's like the time passes both slowly and fast enough, and I keep forgetting. So you have to remind me what the fuck that means.
As I said, it is just I both don't have, or I believe that I don't have, I'm both instinctually against it and my cultural conditioning is against it. So I personally have no wish to do that, to force myself on others in that way.
So moralistic judgment is basically comes from society, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah, and instinct is inherent to a person.
And that's instinct. So, okay. So you don't have the instinct to rape people.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, and you don't,
I mean,
and you think
I have an
society.
instinct. I have an instinct which prevents me from doing it, and punish those who do.
Okay. Well, do you have an instinct about raping or not raping an animal? Or you call it whatever else. I know some people have contention with the word rape. You can call it a sexual violation if that's more
I'm
comfortable
not
to you.
sexually attracted to animals, so
So
I
you
also
don't have moralistic judgment on that.
Sorry?
So you don't have both moral or moralistic judgment on that. Like you have
I
it
mean, I
against
have a
it.
moralistic judgment that is against the cultural norms, but I personally don't have an instinct to do so, so I don't do it.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay. So I would really love to know what is the difference between you and I, such that we seems to have different moral, even like I go against moralistic judgment, right? We can agree on that.
mm, I don't. I don't think you'll go against moralistic judgment.
I mean, most people, I mean, the societally, people are totally okay with killing animals for food. And I'm saying that's wrong. So I'm going against the grain here, right?
Yeah, but you haven't done anything, I hope, that would cause moral judgment to be passed against you. So you are influencing it, but you don't do actions that, at least I hope so, that would warrant any sort
No,
of
I'm
judgment.
asking. No, I'm asking a specific thing, right? There is a more moralistic judgment of most people, right? Most society. That's how it becomes moralistic,
Yeah,
if I
it
understand
is
it correctly.
cultural norms, yes.
Yeah, the cultural norm is it's okay to kill animals for food, right? I'm going against that.
Yeah, it's
Do you
also
agree?
okay not to
Yeah,
kill animals for food.
yeah. So
I
the only
mean,
thing that is left here is moral judgment. Why do you think my moral judgment is different than yours?
we touched on that last time.
Yeah, I don't
And
remember. I'm sorry. I'm fucking
yeah,
shit.
you talked about the cat story and everything,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
we did some couch
But
philosophy,
as I
but
remember, we never come to a
psychiatry.
conclusion. You just said, "Oh, that just is."
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know you personally, so I cannot theorize. I only extrapolate data. I know myself, and
You make judgments about how people act all the time. If, in fact, last time you said that most people are underdeveloped because they don't want to kill animals themselves.
yeah, not underdeveloped. I don't think they mature like
The same thing.
to. Sorry.
Same thing seems to me. Yeah. Like
Well,
if they don't mature, they are underdeveloped. It's the same. It describes the same thing, I think, unless I'm wrong.
mm,
They don't mature properly. They stay kind of childish, right?
yeah,
Mentally, or is it physically?
no, it's I believe mentally, but
But the
so
instincts are physical, no?
well, there is everything is physical. Your instincts are in the end physical because they are physically happen. There are reactions that need to happen in your brain for them to activate. So they are physical,
Yeah.
but they simply it's not about it is that they don't. I believe most people don't go through the maturity process like, and I said that last time, same as the predators that are well fed and kept in
Well, no
captivity in good
shit, we're
conditions.
not fucking predators. Like, no
We are
people go through that.
we are predators. What are you talking about?
We are predators?
Yeah,
How do you figure
we
that?
because we hunt and kill things.
Well, that's not definitional. I mean, your cat is I mean, definitionally, your cat is a predator, but if you keep it inside, it doesn't hunt or kill.
Well, it doesn't have opportunity to hunt and kill.
Okay, so this comes back again to the instinct. So people, you think, have instinct to be predatory, yeah?
I think that people do have the instinct to be predator. It's weakened of late.
Because they
But
don't mature enough, because they don't grow up in situations where they are like
I
made
simply
to
don't.
be predacious in childhood or something.
Um, this could be part of it. Part of it is that hunting instinct hasn't been selected for a very long time.
Okay,
Well, not very long time,
so it seems
significant
we are
amount of
not
time.
predatory anymore. If the
Uh,
hunting wasn't selected for a long
Descriptively,
time.
we are predators because we
I don't
do
think.
predation.
Sorry, you could say that again. I was talking over you.
We are predators because we do predate.
Well, that's the do part. That's not the instinct. You're saying we lost the instinct because.
Well, they say we also, but not most. How to say?
Well, the moral
Significant amount of people.
judgment is basically social acceptance, right? And most people are against the hunter cunts. So it's like
I strongly disagree with that. Hunters are very well respected here.
in Croatia
Yeah.
by everybody.
I know that you won't say where you live,
No, no,
so
no, no, that's fine. I just
I
wonder
cannot
if we
say.
have like some kind of empirical thing that we can search for, like Croatia,
I don't know. I don't know
sentiment.
how you could. What would you search? But anecdotally, if you will trust me, hunting is very popular, and hunters are usually respected,
Okay, Croatia
even though they are like
sentiments on hunting. That's the thing. I don't even trust myself with such statements because sometimes we find ourselves in like a bubble, and I know that very well that I could find myself in like a bubble if not well exposed to other people and other ideas. So I'm always looking for like empirical proof of some kind if I'm gonna make a social claim. So cultural meaning of hunting. I don't know if that will give us. I don't know how to search it as well. Meaning of hunting.
Yeah, some things are hard to search, and
Yeah,
probably not. They are not probably not even researched.
yeah, yeah. That's a
But
problem. I'd say like okay, let's go. Like I'd say like in America, hunters, especially trophy hunters, are overwhelmingly not accepted and not
yeah,
not
but
respected and shit.
Subsistence hunters, oh well, they're technically subsistence hunter, but hunting for food is acceptable and encouraged. Also, like it is encouraged to kill
Yeah,
animals due to population control and other things.
yeah. So you think because like in Croatia people are more developed, right? Because
I think I think they mature more to a greater extent, more than in the West.
okay.
Because it is not as both urbanized and developed as some Western countries.
So okay. So then I'm definitely an anomaly because when I grew up, animals were killed in my house all the time in front of me.
Yeah, again, I cannot comment on your particular
No,
personal
it just puts like a
circumstances.
chink in your theory there
Well,
because
no, it doesn't put the chink in anything. We discussed this last time. I only deal with aggregated data, and basically, even the whole vegan movement is statistically basically insignificant.
Oh, okay. Because it's only 3% of the population, or because
So
our
it's less than
ideas are
3%.
so.
3% of
Sorry?
it is less than 3% of the population.
Well, that's the last what I read about it. It
I
doesn't matter
don't know
if it could be
where.
1%. It doesn't. Who gives a shit? I'm asking, is it because of the value of percentage, or is it because our ideas don't jive with social norms?
No, it is the percentage, and also there is well, there are few things that were like vegans, but there are very few societies that were created with vegans norms, which is the main criteria for me to put greater emphasis onto the data point, because it is the only way for me to control for cultural influences.
That's so weird what you're saying, because slaughterhouse workers go vegan, hunters go vegan, people who grow up in Africa where animals are just fucking shit and like disregarded completely, people there go vegan. So like I know we're not many
Too
people,
much
right?
smaller numbers.
Okay, well, you're looking at this point in time.
Well, yeah, in this point of time, I
yeah,
cannot look into the future.
yeah, of course, yeah, it's true. So yeah, I think we come to some kind of a conclusion. What do you think? I mean, I already called you a piece of shit. I don't know how to go from there.
Yeah, that's fine. So let me. So what else? I wanted to do something else. Oh yeah, do you have? Do I have like? I watched the debunked vegan logic video on crop deaths.
Yeah.
Do you want to? And I have like idea, and I don't. I think that crop death is argument that is badly used by most non-vegans, and vegans usually succeed in changing the course of the discussion to theirs to twist it to suit them, and
to our advantage. You mean?
Yeah, to their advantage. Yeah. I think that. Do you want to discuss that for a second?
I don't know much about it. I mean, you can say your idea, just put it out there, but you know, we'll have only 9 people watching, but maybe somebody can clip it and somebody send it to somebody else. I mean, LVL, like almost every vegan who is like a bit less stupid than me did a video on that, and some of them are terrible, by the way. I would agree with you there, but like LVL did a very good video. Debug Your Brain, I don't know if you know about him, did an excellent video.
Yeah.
And Elle is gonna put out a good video, and Chris Hines is gonna put out a good video about it. So
I think that I never saw lifting vegan logic videos, but I did see debugging your brain video.
Debug Your Brain, yeah.
Yeah, I think he completely missed the point because he was thinking like a vegan.
Okay, so give me the point.
The point is that it is a hypocrisy argument. That vegans are not okay killing for food, and yet they kill to acquire food. And it is not, and they say it is more efficient, more. It is not about efficiency. It is about the principles. It is unimportant for a non-vegan how efficient it is. What is the number of crop depths or waste of calories? That is besides the point. It is the point is that vegans have this principle that they won't kill for food.
Yeah.
And yet they kill for food.
Yeah.
And I think that there's maybe some argument. I can think of few counter arguments, but the argument stands that it is a good hypocrisy argument.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when it's framed as a hypocrisy argument, my answer usually is, yeah, the animals who die for crops, they definitely should be also, well, not definitely, because there is some kind of research that possibly makes it clear that insects are not sentient, but I don't know about that. Again, I'm incredibly stupid in like biological regards. so I can't comment on that. But I think it's just a problem that is unsolvable. At this point in time, it's unsolvable until we stop feeding crops to farmed animals. That's the point for me. I think,
I don't see how what feeding vegans wouldn't feed crops to farm animals.
yeah.
So
So
I don't
in the
see the
vegan
point.
world, I think when 75% of crops don't need to exist anymore, I think that's the number, but don't take my word on it, of course.
Yeah, it's
Even if
irrelevant.
it's fucking 50%, right? It reduces the amount of land you can use, and you can basically stop monocropping, I think.
Well, you wouldn't stop monocropping. It would be
You
much more expensive.
can. You
I mean,
can.
you can do it now, but it
Not
will be
really,
much more
no. Like
expensive.
most of like land is fucking cleared to create more food for farmed animals. You can't.
No. Land is cleared to make money.
Okay, distinction without a distinction.
No, it's a big distinction, because if you
It's zero distinction to the
no,
animals
it
that die
is.
for it.
Well, it is, but again, you well, no, but vegans only viewed from a vegan lens, so that is a problem for them. But they don't understand the counter arguments. Like just because you want to reduce the amount of farmland uh, or crops that are grown, it
Yeah.
will still be exactly the same amount of crops that vegans eat,
No, I
and
don't
it will
think
stay.
so. I don't think so. I mean, we have data on this. It's gonna be a 70. Sorry, I know now
No,
where.
again, you are turning it into the efficiency.
Yeah. Well, I'm
The
turning
vegan,
it. That's the thing. Let me explain, please. I'm not turning it into efficiency because I don't actually know the numbers. What I'm saying is that it's a problem that is propagated by the bigger problem of animal farming. Because once the world is vegan, we potentially can eliminate crop deaths. We can't until then because the crop farmers don't give a shit about animals because they're not vegan, because they have animals on the plate every day. The people who farm animals don't give a shit about animals. So there is not, but actually, when I talk to crop farmers, they say they take an immense amount of care not to kill at least the big animals. So all we're talking about is basically insects, and that can be prevented once you don't have to monocrop anymore.
yeah, I think that okay, I cannot say, but I think that they say that just to make you like them more. Uh,
Maybe, but it's all I have
but
to trust on.
it,
But
it,
like the larger point is, why am I making the point of reducing cropland after animal agriculture ceases to exist? I'm making that point because not because of efficiency. I'm making that point because once we reduce the amount of crop depths, we don't have to monocrop anymore, and we can concentrate on eliminating crop depths. That's my only point. The rest I don't give a shit about. Right? I only care about animals. I don't give a shit about efficiency, and I don't give a shit about who makes money from what. Right?
yeah, I don't think. I mean, I don't think that there is any technology I can think of that would prevent crop depths.
Well, once you don't monocrop, what you can do is, veganic farming. You can look into it a little bit more. But basically, there are weeds that you can put in between crops, right? That will prevent from insects to want to come to the crops. The repellents basically, or yeah, you have like technological situations of I know every vegan talks about it, and I can't wait to see if that can actually happen, but like vertical farming. But my point is, once people give a shit about animals, they will do stuff to prevent the killing of animals. right?
Don't you think that would be more prohibitively expensive than bottled water from desalinization?
Absolutely not.
How not?
Because
When
right now monocropping is being done for farmed animals to make it like the food for us, for humans,
no,
like the soy
monocropping is
crops.
being done because it requires very little work input. It is used.
How would
It is
it be
done
more
because
work to put weeds in between crops? You just need
it will
more
be.
land, and that's not a problem
No, you
in the
don't need
vegan
more
world.
land. It would. It would be much more complicated to both
I don't think so.
seed, farm, and harvest the crop.
No,
It
they
would take
harvest the
30
entire
30
fucking
minutes by
shit and
hand.
then they fucking sift it. It doesn't matter. They can take the wheat crops, like the weeds with the crops, and that's fine. It's the same sifting as they do when they, cut off at the stem. Well, they don't cut off the stem, they cut very high on the stem, right? And then they have to sift it for the actual crop. It's the same fucking shit. Why would it be more expensive? The only thing, it would require more land to not monocrop, right? But we will have that land. Just think about it. 75% of farmland right now could be subsidized when we go vegan. Like, whoever owns a fucking apartment, is gonna lose money, right? Because all of a sudden land is gonna become much less expensive.
Yeah, and we become basically worthless.
I don't know if basically worthless, it would still worth, but
Well,
yeah, the prices
basically
will
worthless.
drop like amazingly. And you can have crop farms that can take over a bit more land, like in a very cheap way. And they can, they're vegan at this point, right? In my mind. So if they're vegan, they don't want to kill insects anymore if insects are sentient. I'm taking the precautionary choice anyways, so we don't know if they're sentient or not, but if they're sentient, then the farmers wouldn't want to kill them. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that will work, but
Great.
I just want to say, so right now you consider yourself immoral by necessity.
Immoral by necessity, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So that means
Like
that,
in case of mosquitoes as well, of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
that in case of mosquitoes, I think you have.
Yeah, that's the thing. I have, if that's the thing, when I think about the well-being of animals, right? It has to have like a pretty fucking amazing justification for me to participate in either rights violations or just like straight up suffering, right? Of animals.
Yeah, the problem is
Yeah.
that fantastic justification is basically personal. For me, taste of chicken is fantastic justification.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go in circles. We already said that, like, actually not dying is more important than the taste of chicken, so my justification, so
No,
sorry
me
to
not
say,
dying
is
is
fucking
more
higher
important,
than
but
yours. Like, I
no,
also
me
like
not.
tasty food, right? I used to fucking love the taste of meat. It's just like the two, if you put the two things on the moral scale, one of them is my taste pleasure, and the other one, which, it's still there, I guess. I used to very much like meat, right? And the other one is like killing a bunch of animals. Yeah, I'll take, the one that makes me the least amount of moral. But I'm not gonna, I don't have to sacrifice myself. That would be a virtue, like, but it's not a moral imperative for me to sacrifice myself for that situation. So I will die without food, right? And you say, I like the taste of chicken. Those two things are not on the same moral plane, even in your regard.
Well, I will die without food also, so
Yeah, you will
again,
die without food, but if
only
you
thing
can,
that would be different is like efficiency in numbers.
you say efficiency, but you're talking about animals' lives, and you're talking about a very great amount of lives.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I already called you a piece of shit. I don't know where else to go with it. So, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have
I mean,
problem
it
with.
could be a subjective thing, right? I could
Well,
view
it
you
is
as
subjective.
selfish piece of shit, and you know, but that doesn't matter. That's, I think, you know. I mean, it doesn't matter to you, right, to be a selfish prick and kill a bunch of animals. It's a subjective thing that you decided to kill the greatest amount of animals that you can for taste pleasure. So, mm,
Yeah, same
yeah,
as it would be subjective thing for you not to do so.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. All right. So I think we came to an absolute conclusion.
yeah. I also think as well.
We
Oh, just one
amazingly,
more question.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
one more question.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know how you're familiar with it. What's your opinion on predator killing?
Yeah, I have a video on that actually. So it's complex in my opinion. Um, if I come across a lion about to eat a baby and I have a gun, I'm shooting the lion. If I come across a lion about to eat a gazelle, I'm shooting the fucking lion because I don't find a morally relevant difference between those two in that situation, right? I don't know if that is a justification to actually go and get a gun and go start shooting predators, because I think that is a systemic issue now, right? Because if I go and shoot a bear in a fucking cave, right, without this being like an imminent danger to somebody, then I don't think I'm justified, because I wouldn't do that in the case of humans. Because if there is a serial killer, right, serial killer that,
Yeah, I understand. I think
yeah, you
that is
understand. Yeah.
much better view than Avi's. I think Avi's an idiot.
Well, I don't know about that, but I don't agree with him that it's a moral imperative to call cool predators. I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
We are in the understanding. I think
yeah.
that was
But
the.
I do think it's a complex question, and I do want to prevent as a secondary thing, as I started with in this life, as a secondary thing, I do want to prevent wild animal suffering at some point after we're going vegan, or during. I mean, we can do both things, I guess. How do we do
Yeah,
that? I don't know, but not through predator cooling, probably. But I also don't respect nature and all that shit.
yeah. I probably won't be surprised that I don't care, but I'm
Yeah,
always
yeah,
interested to see what vegan thinks about it because it is a hotly
yeah,
debated issue.
yeah.
So, yeah,
If you have anything else, but otherwise, I would like to talk to our audience a little bit, if that's okay, and you can step off. But if you have another question, please go ahead.
I have no other
All
questions.
right, cool.
I can stay for a bit if somebody of the audience has any questions.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If anybody has questions, write them down. I'm sorry, I am not very good at looking at the chat while doing this, because I was, as is, trying to concentrate on Conan and sometimes losing what he was trying to say, like losing the meaning of his words. So I apologize. So a bunch of people, like Jeremy, are you still here? Hello. Ivor, hello Ivor. Vainamoinen is with us. Awesome. Uncle Zulu, Big's Dream, of course. I don't know if any of you still here. I mean, the chat is kind of not moving. So yeah, if you have questions to Conan, I think he's monitoring the chat. So yeah, let's go. In the meanwhile, if I can self-promo for like a second, if Conan allows. Conan?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
self-promo.
It's your
All right.
channel.
Yeah, but
I
you know, sometimes it's a bit sleazy.
Yeah. Can I wait? We have a question.
Sorry?
I can understand what moral obligation is supposed to mean. Suggesting it means. So Jeremy, I want to answer to Jeremy. Yeah, I know most vegans, well, not all vegans are deontologists. Many are utilitarian. Those two are like predominant views, and many are right-based, which would basically be the ontologist's view, and some of course non-cog also.
Yeah, I have no idea what all of that means, but I think that's a question to me, right? He's asking what, or they are asking, I don't know if it's a he, what is the difference between moral obligation and moral virtue? Is that the question? I mean, I differentiated between the two, right? I don't know. So anyway, self-promotion. Jeremy, let me know. Vegans have an absolute principle, etc. No, I don't think we have an absolute principle. That's why we fight all the time.
Well, a right-based vegan would have a principle, so.
Well, we would have some kind of guidance, but I don't think even there we agree. Like, for instance, vegan gains think we should grant all human rights to animals because some of them don't interact with with animals in any way, so it wouldn't be like harmful to give them rights. But I think it just makes us look ridiculous, so I'm not saying that. I'm saying, yeah, we should be very selective with what kind of rights we give to even which clade of animals, because in the way that it interacts with their well-being. That's
Yeah,
the
but
thing.
whatever rights you gave, if you want to like view rights as a rule, then it would be a deontological view.
Sorry again.
And it doesn't really matter what rights you would grant. If you would grant a right, that right becomes a deontological rule.
Okay, I have no idea. I should at some point find the
And I
time to
also
read
noticed,
something.
I
But
also noticed that vegan gays is like gays, Ellie, that she is getting a bit more like radical. Before she was of the opinion that animals and humans are not of the same moral worth, and now she thinks that they are, which I think is
no,
ridiculous for
she's saying
vegans.
something different. She's saying what I'm saying, that there is no, like, depending on the situation, there is no morally relevant difference between the two, and the situation is basically the stipulation to what is done to this animal or this human, right? So in a certain situation, if you ask, there's a human in front of you. The way I said with the lion, you have a lion about to eat a baby, you have a lion about to eat a gazelle. Those, in this situation, those two animals are morally the same to me. They both have moral worth and they both need protection, right? So I will kill a lion to protect both of them in the same fucking way with zero hesitation, right? If I
No,
have a gun.
I
So
think
that's what
you.
she, no, I'm sorry. I'm watching gays all the time and I'm analyzing what she's saying, and you're incorrect. She's saying what
No,
I'm saying.
I also watch gays pretty like religiously.
Oh, shit.
I did comment on one of her. It was even the second to last or the one before that, and I put a timestamp in the comment. So,
Oh,
uh,
then maybe you can just like clip it and send it to me, and I will put it in my community tab so people can see what we're talking about, right?
yeah, I will do it
Cool.
right after this conversation is over.
Okay. Excellent, because then, we're talking hot air right now because we need to hear what Elle said, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, listen, I'm about to explode in many ways, especially because I have to pee. So please, if you actually, we're gonna forego the questions from, I just wanna do self-promotion and finish the stream, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. So, I don't know, disconnect yourself because I'm terrible with technology.
Uh,
Is that okay?
uh, I can only disconnect myself from Skype. I cannot.
Yeah. Yeah, do
Okay,
that.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay. See you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
for
you
the
for coming,
conversation.
Connann. I do appreciate it, despite calling you a piece of shit.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
ever want to talk again, probably not very soon, but
Yeah.
I'm always happy to talk to you. See ya.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Bye. All right. So guys, a little bit of self-promotion before I sign off. First of all, I hope this was in any way enjoyable to you. And I'm sorry I'm not going to address the questions because I am getting tired, hungry, and want to pee. So just a bit of a self-promotion. I have, in half an hour, I have a short coming out. And I have noticed that if I self-promote those shorts and they're actually viewed by any amount of people before it gets artificially pushed by the YouTube, it does amazingly so much better. So listen, some of you who are on my notification list, my email list, some of you already gonna get the notification. Others, please, 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 in half an hour, if you can tune in to my my YouTube channel and find that clip and just watch it and like it or something and like comment, I don't know, whatever people do on YouTube, I don't know myself. Also, if you want to actually if you want to get on my notification list, I think I can push a link in a second. I apologize, I am technologically absolutely terrible, right? Okay, copy, there you go. It's gonna happen in a second, anytime now. There we go. So this is my notification list. You have several choices there that you can sign up for. It's just, you know, it just gives better notifications than YouTube. I just don't trust it anymore with notifications, especially when it comes to shorts, right? So that's it. Thank you very much for joining. I hope this was, I don't know, something. Some of you stayed for it, so I guess it was something.